Hello everyone and welcome along to the Sports Corner Live. We are back once again on the YouTube channel for another live football watch along. How are you all doing? If you were with us of course at the weekend, I hope you've been able to recuperate and have a little bit of a rest after the darts. It was a fantastic weekend of action. Really enjoyed it. Some brilliant games of course, but we're back to football. That's our main priority for now. We've got a big week of action to come on this channel, so you don't want to miss out on it. We've got Champions League football, we've got Europa League football, we've got a massive game in the A-League coming up on Friday. But first, before we get into any Champions League or Europa League action, we are here for some Serie A football tonight. What a game this is going to be. Inter Milan taking on Atalanta. Both of these teams, you could arguably say, some of the most informed sides in Serie A right now. Both brilliant to watch so far this season. The breathtaking amount of goals that Atalanta get every year compared to the really structurally organised Inter Milan team that are looking on course to pick up the first Scudetto in what feels like forever. But as you can see, you can see in a second, it's me again, honestly. You're going to get sick of me soon. How are we all doing tonight? Welcome along. I'm all fresh, ready, and really excited for this game tonight. Looking forward to it indeed. And I hope you guys are ready for it too, because kickoff is about 5 minutes away. But as we always say at the beginning of the stream, if you are new, please don't forget to leave a like and a subscription if you are new. We do live football content on here, live watch-alongs of multiple leagues across Europe, including the Bundesliga, Serie A, Liga and A-League. We cover a whole host of different leagues. We also do darts watch-alongs once again. Massive thank you to all of you that turned up over the weekend with the darts, because it's always one of the very big things on the channel that happens every couple of weeks, and you guys, you bring an incredible amount of support to those videos. So thank you so much to all of you that did join over the weekend, because I didn't quite have as much to drink, if I'm being honest. I was what's the best way to put it? I let myself off quite easy actually. I only really had one drink in the end, and that was it. But it was a fantastic weekend overall. But we've got this game coming up, as I said, Inter Milan taking on Atalanta. It's first versus fifth, and this is a really detrimental game this season. As it currently stands, in terms of where these two teams are in the league right now, Inter Milan currently sat top of the league. They're on 59 points, 3 points ahead of their inner city rivals AC Milan, of course with a game in hand, which is this match that they're playing now. But Atalanta sat in fifth place on 49 points, but they could in fact go up to third place depending on the amount of goals that they scored today. They've already scored 60 goals this season. This is a battle of the two highest scorers in the league. Is it going to live up to the hype in goals? We'll have to find out, of course. But how are we doing, Reese? Hope you're all good, buddy. Welcome along to the stream. And Kyle is back once again. How are you doing, Kyle? Hope you're all good. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. Good to see you as always, buddy. But without further ado, let's go through the two lineups for today's game. Starting off with the home side, as you would expect from an Antonio Conte team. 3-5-2 today for Inter Milan. Handanovic is in goal, occupied by a back three that includes youngster Alessandro Bastoni alongside the experience of Stefan de Vrij and Milan Skriniar. Both of these players not necessarily old, but very experienced in Italian football at the back. Midfield 5 today sees Ivan Perisic on the left-hand side with Achraf Hakimi on the right. He's always a brilliant player to watch, Hakimi, whenever we get to watch Serie A. And the midfield 3 is Vidal, Brozovic and Barella. So expect a little bit of feistiness tonight, especially from Arturo Vidal. Not shy of going in for a few feisty tackles. And then up top, the ever-present front two for Inter Milan. It doesn't change often. It is Lukaku and Lautaro Martinez. It'll be interesting to see how those two do together, because the last time we watched them, of course, was in the Milan derby, where they played absolutely unbelievable together and caused real issues for their inner city rivals. But this is a different team, and Atalanta, although they shake it at the back, they make up for it in terms of the attacking side of stuff. But as you can see on the bench as well, a whole host of recognisable names, formerly from the Premier League. You can see the likes of Alexis Sanchez and Ashley Young, both former Manchester United players. Darmian as well, you could add to that list. And then you've also got the likes of Christian Eriksen, Kolarov as well, Gagliardini. So a lot of recognisable names in Italy that are on the bench tonight. And no doubt with the 5 substitutions in Serie A, we'll probably see quite a few of those regular faces from the Premier League of the past come onto the pitch tonight. So that is the Inter Milan lineup. Let's take a look at the Atalanta team. Now, technically, this is probably a 3-5-2 or a 3-4-2-1 or a 3-4-1-2, however you see it. Either way, it's definitely a 3 at the back, which is, of course, the system that Atalanta tend to play anyway. Marco Sportiello is in goal today. Swapped in for Galini, which is an interesting choice by Gasperini. Back 3 of Rafael Toloi, the Brazilian. Cristiano Romero, the young Argentine, has been brilliant this season for Atalanta. And Berat Jimcity makes up the 3 in defence. 4-man midfield, starting with Robin Gosens on the left-hand side, with Joachim Mehel on the right. 2 midfielders, Remo Freuler, and former Middlesbrough man Martin de Roon. I think every time we've done an Atalanta stream, I always love to say, who would have thought Martin de Roon would be at a club in the Champions League playing against Real Madrid? Not often, is it? And then, of course, it is could be a front 2 tonight. Malinovsky and Zapata could both play as strikers. I personally think it's going to be 2 kind of right forward / left forward players, so Persina and Malinovsky playing as kind of 2 cams or 2 very, very deep wingers towards the middle of the pitch, with Duvan Zapata up top. However, on Premier Sport, I will say in a second that Atalanta has been lined up, I think, with 2 up top, Malinovsky as a second striker. So who knows what it's going to be on paper, but you can see bench-wise as well, a few recognisable players on there if you watch a lot of Italian football. Josip Ilicic has been quite an interesting player over the last few weeks. Doesn't tend to start as much now, but he's certainly becoming a very important player off the bench. That is also the same for Luis Muriel, who has been an incredible, incredible player this season for Atalanta. Scored, I think, 15 or 16 goals, pretty much from the bench, which is crazy. Absolutely the definition of a super sub. But they are lining up on Premier Sport with 2 cams, so I am right. I think it's going to be a 3-4-2-1 tonight, which is going to be very, very interesting indeed. But these 2 teams, really, really good. Both the top scorers in the league. Inter Milan scored 62 goals this season, and Atalanta have scored 60. And not necessarily the best defences in the league, but close to being the best defences. Inter Milan only conceding 25 goals, and Atalanta, surprisingly, only conceding 28, which when you look at this Atalanta team, I think a lot of people expect this side to concede a hell of a lot of goals. And one thing they haven't done this season is concede many goals at all, which is very, very impressive indeed. And in fact, when you look at the stats, they do have the 3rd best defence. They've conceded 32 goals this season, which is fairly up there in terms of the teams towards the upper end of the table that haven't conceded goals. So still very impressive either way. The goal difference is 28. But this should be a brilliant, brilliant game to watch today. Both teams getting ready for the action. And we should have a very good game on our hands. Kyle, how are you doing, buddy? Are you all good? I will see your comment in a second. Just need to turn down the commentary on mine as we get underway. But Daz is in the building. How you doing, Daz? Good to see you as always, lad. I do need you, Daz, as well. I know you said you wanted one of your friends to get involved with the UCL tournament. Do tell me the name of your friend, and I will get his name down, because I thought I'd got his name down and then accidentally deleted the list. But Inter already into the box here. Ivan Perisic trying to whip a ball into the box, and corner already. We're only 20 seconds in and we've already got first chance of the night, potentially. Kyle couldn't join Kale's stream for second half, or own stream for his game on Saturday. I predicted Bayern to win 4-2 against Dortmund in the first half of Kale's stream, and it ended 4-2 to Bayern, and I bloody missed it. Watched the replay, still enjoyed it, but wasn't the same as it being live, which I agree with you. Great game overall, but not the same, is it, when you don't get to watch it live. But first corner put in. It's going to come towards the head of Milan Skriniar, who does actually get a touch on the ball, but it'll be cleared in the end by Berat Jimcity. And as you said, Kyle, I'm praying tonight, because these are the teams with the most goals in the league, let's hope, touch wood, we get some goals tonight. Because they're both very good teams to watch. And I'll probably say, arguably, the 2 best teams in the league, not in terms of form, but 2 of the best teams to watch, for the neutral. If you wanted to get somebody into Serie A, then you would probably recommend to watch a team like Atalanta, just because of the amount of goals they score a season. They're breathtaking to watch at times. But I think 3-2 to Inter Milan. I mean, realistically, I'd like Atalanta to win because it opens the table up massively. When you look at the league right now and how it stands, Atalanta in 5th on 49 points, Roma in 4th on 50 points, Juventus in 3rd on 52 points. Now, Juventus' goal difference is 30 and Atalanta's is 28. So depending on what happens here tonight, based on goal difference, Atalanta could go into third place, with AC Milan in second on 56 points, and Inter Milan, of course, first on 59. So when you look at the table as a neutral, if Atalanta win tonight and get themselves up to 52 points, then it is going to be quite an interesting end to the Serie A season, which is turning out to be looking that way, because there's quite a few teams up there that will not want to finish fifth. As Duvan Zapata's through on goal, but good defended in the end by Milan Skriniar, just clears the ball away and it'll got a play for a corner. Very, very lively start to this game, as you would expect from two of the highest scoring teams in not just Serie A but in Europe. Brilliant sides to watch, and hopefully we will be able to see a few more goals tonight. But Daz has put in the chat, do you want to keep me do you want me to keep you up to date with the other scores, Josh, like the likes of West Ham and Leeds? Yes, please do, because of course I'm not going to be able to watch them tonight. So thank you very much for keeping us updated. Like, obviously I know Jordan was putting them in last night, but I wasn't necessarily wanting them in because it was a dart stream. We weren't really talking about football as such, but tonight, yes, do put your updates in, because of course there's a few games going on that I'll miss out on tonight, and I've not complained at all in that respect. As Atalanta look to come forward here, it's going to be Pessina, who, well, has gone down a little bit theatrically in my opinion. Referee going to continue playing. Pessina screaming for a free kick, but he won't get it in the end. And Atalanta will continue to come forward. It's going to be Zapata on the left wing right now. Ball given away by Barella. And in the end, it was a chance for De Roon to pass the ball to Zapata inside the box on the left wing, and the pass is a little bit too heavy by the Dutchman. But do you know what, actually, looking at it, I'm wrong. I said Pessina there was being a little bit theatrical, and I was wrong. In fact, Vidal probably getting away with one there. He did get studs on Pessina in the end, and I'm surprised the referee didn't give that as a free kick, but Vidal gets away with it. 4 minutes in, as I said, it's very Vidal to go in with tackles. He's not afraid, and it only took us less than 5 minutes for him to go in with a few tackles, as we get a free kick here for Atalanta. Duvan Zapata going down from a foul from Nicolo Barella, who I have to say is one of the more improved players for Inter Milan over the last couple of years, or the last two at the very least. He's been there. Had a really patchy start to life as an Inter player, and now is one of the main focal points of the team. You just can't not have his name on the team sheet every week. But it's the same for Brozovic and Vidal, you know, three very, very good midfielders. And even then, Sensi, he's not probably the best one in the world, but he misses out. And, of course, one of those players is going to have to miss out each week. Unless you go for a four-man midfield, which I guess you tend to see often. It'd be kind of having two holding midfielders, a cam and a DM, and I wouldn't really call any of the three midfielders on the pitch tonight a attacking midfielder at the very least. They're all kind of box-to-box players. Probably, I would say Vidal is the best of the bunch in terms of the attacking and the defensive side of play, but the best attacker by far is probably Nicola Barella. Just very Xavi-esque, I think. And I'm not praising him to the same heights as Xavi, but he has got very similar skills and assets like Xavi did. Much more known for his attacking side of play, as he has just gone down from a foul from Martin de Roon. Referee giving a free kick to Inter in the defensive half of play. But as I was saying before, it is a massive, massive week of content on this channel. We've got 2 days of Champions League action on Tuesday and Wednesday. We've got, of course, Europa League action on Thursday. And then we've got the A-League on Friday. So a lot of stuff to come over the next few days. Pretty much a stream every single day now. We've had, since Friday, I think, be a whole entire week of non-stop action. I know Dimsky was saying yesterday I should probably take a break, but I think I'll take a break when the international break comes around in a few weeks. But good chance here for Inter to come forward. It's Hakimi. Plays a really good ball into Lautaro, and that is exceptional defending in the end by Cristian Romero. Really good tackle on his Argentine partner. Non-international. He's onside, Lautaro Martinez. But the tackle that Romero makes there, it's pitch perfect. And he does really, really good indeed to be able to just get the tackle. And somehow, you think to yourself, it was a really, really good opportunity for Inter to take the lead. But the corner comes in. It's going to be landing at the feet of Ivan Perisic in the box. How are you doing, Kian? Welcome to the stream, buddy. Hope you're all good. As Daz has just put full-time, Chelsea have won 2-0. Big result for Chelsea, who don't seem to be losing any games right now, do they? Very, very enjoyable to watch under Tuchel in terms of how defensively organised they are. And have they lost a game since Tuchel has come in? I don't think they have they? As Inter look to come forward here. Ball from Lukaku, eventually taken away by Jim City. And now Atalanta are going to look to play out from the back, which they attempt to do. And it's a little flick to Matteo Pessina. But it's also out of play for a throw-in and a bit of a waste there. Gives a really good opportunity here for Inter Milan to take the advantage of being in the attacking half of play. We'll have to see indeed what happens here. But 10 minutes in, lively start as you would expect. I don't think it'll be long before we get the first goal in this match, in my personal opinion. Some really, really good players on the pitch tonight for this to end 0-0, and I've probably jinxed it now, either way. But we've got some great games coming up this week. We've got, of course, this game tonight. We're going to have Dortmund, Sevilla, and Porto, Juve tomorrow. On Wednesday, we've got Barca, PSG, and we've also got the other game that's going on, which is Liverpool, Leipzig. So some brilliant, brilliant games. I'm really looking forward to it, of course, to see all of the action that goes down in the Champions League over the next few days. But here comes Malinovsky. Plays the ball into Duvan Zapata, who's just outside the box on the left wing. He's going to try and play it into Gosens, who'd made a marauding run into the middle of the pitch to kind of act as the makeshift striker, but it doesn't get to him in the end. As Atalanta look to slowly build up the play right now. Cal's just put, I was over the moon Man United beat City, Daz. But I'm worried they'll start playing crap again, starting with Milan's. There's a chance here for the ball to be put into the box, and it's played towards Zapata, but just doesn't get to him in the end, and that was a real big opportunity. Really good work from Gosens, who is able to get a ball fed into the box, a really good, powerful cross. And Zapata isn't aware of the opportunity, and now Inter Milan coming forward here. It's going to be Nicola Barella, who started the attack, and he's just wasted a real good opportunity for Inter Milan to come forward. As I think, in fact, he's injured himself. He looks to be hobbling a little bit right now. But Barella just couldn't find Lukaku, who's making the really good run. He was onside as well. But just hobbling a little bit now, Barella. But I tell you what, KD has got a brilliant game to come. That United AC Milan game is going to be quite an interesting watch, I think, because AC Milan a few weeks ago, coming into that match, were looking really sloppy, but they've got back to winning ways again. So I don't really know what's going to happen with that match, if I'm honest with you. I think both teams can win it, but I would probably give the edge to Man United, in my personal opinion. But I think it'll be a tight one. There'll be a few United fans thinking we'll win that 3-4-0, but I don't think it'll be easy as that. AC Milan, very good side on the day. But no doubt, I would probably say that's AC Milan's biggest game in Europe for years. You know, they've been in the knockout stages before of the Europa League and such, but always kind of been knocked out early from the competition. As we're going to get a corner here for Atalanta. Hakimi just clearing the ball out. Good chance there for Duvan Zapata, who's causing real issues in this first 10 minutes for that Inter Milan backline. And Conte's going to get a talking to here. Few complaints from the manager. Only 11 minutes into the game, and we know Conte is quite a passionate man on the pitch. Certainly brings a lot of passion into the game, which is what a lot of fans love in European football from Conte. And I don't know what he's talking about here. He's going to be booked with a yellow card, but I don't know what the complaint's realistically about there. Conte absolutely fuming with the referee. And it just feels like a little bit of nothing, to be honest, there. There wasn't really a foul or anything in the box to be questioning a decision from the referee. It's a really, really strange one in the end. But he goes into the book early on. And in fact, funnily enough, that's going to be the first yellow card of the game. And it goes to a manager, not a player. So if you were a bookie and you got Conte to be booked in the match as a manager, then you'd be in the money right now. But it's a real shame. I do think bookies should do that. You should be able to take a punt on where the referees... sorry, not referee. A manager's going to get booked. Be quite cool, that. Although the odds, of course, would always be quite high, unless you're Conte. Feels like he gets booked every single week. But Inter Milan just going to play around the back. Of course, we've actually watched both of these teams over the last few weeks quite a lot. We watched Atalanta last week in the Champions League, or 2 weeks ago at the very least, against Real Madrid, which was a really disappointing game because after the red card that they got quite early on in the match, it did kill the vibe of the game. It didn't allow Atalanta to play in the same way that they usually would, which just was really, really disappointing. And of course, we did get that fantastic goal from Ferland Mendy to win the first leg, which, don't take anything away from him. It was a beautiful goal, but would have been a much different game, I think, had Atalanta had 11 men on the pitch. But they'll be going to Spain next week, and they'll be going into that game probably with quite a lot of confidence in terms of the form that they've had recently. They'll have 11 men on the pitch again, and most importantly, they won't be playing in the Stadio Bernabeu. It's not going to be played there because Real Madrid, of course, having the stadium renovated, which means they're playing it in their training pitch right now. So a little bit of a different atmosphere, not as big of a stadium, maybe not as such a stadium where these players are going to be in awe of it and maybe mesmerised by the situation in hand. As there's a ball lobbed into the box there towards Malinovsky, cleared away by Brozovic, and he might be able to start a counter-attack. It's one long ball towards Lukaku, who's got a lot of pace, but Romero does really, really well in the end, and very nearly actually ended up putting the ball in the back of his own net. He had to clear the ball in that situation with pressure from Lukaku, and Romero just kicks the ball up. I think he's tried to play it to Sportiello, and it's not the greatest pass in the world. It's a volleyed pass which Sportiello has to head away, but had he not got a touch on that, that would have been going in the back of the net, and it would have been an own goal to start the night. But either way, it's going to be a corner here for Inter. She's going to be played short. Hakimi to Brozovic, who whips the ball in the end, and it's not the greatest cross from the Croatian, who will see the ball land all the way back at Arturo Vidal's feet, who's just currently stood at the halfway line. But as I was saying before, I think Atalanta will play a much better game when they play against Real Madrid next week. Really looking forward to that match. That'll be one that, of course, I'll be covering for the second leg. Well and truly wide open, that game. But we've also seen a lot of Inter Milan as well. We saw them recently in the AC Milan Inter derby, where they played fantastically well, really good performance, well organised, and probably the best performance of their season in how they demolished AC Milan in pretty fine fashion. And then we also saw him in the Coppa Italia as well a few weeks ago again against AC Milan, where it was a bit more of a different story. A very even game for large parts until Zlatan Ibrahimovic was sent off and Inter Milan were allowed a bit more of an opportunity to use the open space from the extra man advantage. And then, of course, we saw that incredible Eriksen winner. One of the brilliant, brilliant games of the Coppa Italia. And European football this season was very enjoyable, that one. Is this one going to be the same? Because we're 15 minutes in. Very, very even a match. Not many chances for either side so far, if I'm being honest with you. But I think when we get that first big major opportunity on goal, it's probably likely with the consistency in the form of these two teams that they will put the ball into the back of the net. And I don't think we'll have much longer to wait, maybe another 10-15 minutes before that first goal, fingers crossed, comes and livens up this game a little bit, because it's a good game so far, but just lacking that finishing edge, and most importantly, just lacking an opportunity on target that was not an own goal, or could have been an own goal at the very least. But Daz asks, when do England play in the internationals? I will find that out for you, Daz. Let me have a little gander. So the next international fixtures come on Wednesday, the 24th of March. England's first game is against San Marino. That's on Thursday, the 25th of March. That's at 7:45. So a few weeks to go until then. In fact, 2 weeks to be precise until the international fixtures take place. But I don't think we'll be doing as many watch-alongs over that week or two. I think for us, that's going to be a little bit of time to take a break and have a bit of downtime. Considering we'll have been doing a hell of a lot of watch-alongs over the last few weeks, it will allow us to just sit back and relax a little bit. But there'll be one or two international ones, I think. Maybe. We'll have to see, but it'll probably be a little bit of downtime to do some other stuff instead, rather than doing the watch-alongs and stuff. Because I said, it's been absolutely hectic. Not just this last week, but over the last few months, we've had so much stuff going on. It's been non-stop, so it'd be nice to have a little bit of a break soon. At the end of the month, with the internationals on, we can just relax a little bit more, maybe do a few different things on the channel. But Inter Milan just playing around the back right now. Going to be the ball being played between Bastoni and Skriniar, and in the end, it very nearly cost them the ball, and in fact it has now. Skriniar giving the ball away, and it's a chance here for Atalanta to come forward. It's Zapata on the left wing. Colombian's still going, and he tries, I think, to take a cross into the box, which very nearly went as a shot. I mean, you're just going to see here right now, it actually looked like a shot. And it was, yeah, he went for a shot in the end. I think trying at the near post to see if he can curl it in. It's a bit of an awkward angle in the end, but he does very, very well indeed. Although it could have been a cross in the end from the way that shot was taken on. Couldn't really tell at first with the amount of power he put on the shot, but 18 minutes in, still 0-0. Just saying it's the same week as the F1. Oh, there you go. You'll have Rowan live with the F1 then that week, whenever that's going to be taking place. But yeah, in terms of the football ones, it'd be a bit of a quieter week. Not as much going on, because I know straight after that, when the internationals are done, that's when the Premier League of Darts is going to be on, the Champions League. So we're going to have that to cover as well, which is certainly interesting. But it's a lovely time, isn't it? Got 2 more weeks of good action to come. Kyle's put, no need to do everything, guys. You deserve a break just to relax and unwind. Just take it easy on the gym. Honestly, Kyle, I've always said it. I don't tend to drink unless it's the darts. So I'll have one odd little drink here and there. But whenever it's the darts, I let myself go. Because that's the one time I like to just relax a little bit, unwind, have a few drinks, get a little bit tipsy or drunk, and then just enjoy myself on stream. So as I said, it'll be a few more weeks before I am drinking. I mean, it's going to be 5 days of drinking probably as well, because it's Premier League of Darts, and by that point I don't actually think I've got any other uni lectures and such, so I will be able to stream much more in terms of other content as well. As I think we're going to get a free kick here. No, referee's not going to give it, but it'll be a corner instead for Atalanta here. Skriniar, quite a physical player, just bodies Duvan Zapata. And he does get the ball in the end, which means it's the right decision from the referee to give that not as a free kick. And in fact, it wasn't even a corner as well. I think it went out of play in the end, which is a real shame for Atalanta. But it's a very good start, actually. Not had that big, massive opportunity in the game yet. But you can tell that these are 2 very, very good teams. Very even possession-wise. Both teams having opportunities so far. It has been a lively, lively game. And I think, as I said, we just need that one chance to open this game up. Probably say right now, it reminds me a little bit of the Chelsea United match, where both teams were going for it, but just couldn't get the ball in the back of the net. And I think we've got a chance here. As Atalanta come forward on the left wing, it's going to be Duvan Zapata, who does find himself really deep quite often. Plays the ball to Malinowski. Ball lobbed into the box by Rafael Toloi, who's just acting as a kind of left winger for the moment instead of his usual centre-back position. And a clash of heads means that player's going to be stopped. And I'll see who's down in second here. I think Lautaro's one of them who's down. And the other player down is going to be Joachim Mahale. So both players going down with a clash of heads in the end. And of course, as you'd expect, concussion. Got to check to make sure both players are okay. But Meaty, how you doing, buddy? Put Lukaku goal, then assist, then goal, please. I'm guessing if you got a bet on tonight, Meaty? I'd probably say with the first 20 minutes, we've had a few okay chances, but not any big chances yet in the match where anybody's been able to put a shot on target. The best chance we had was a pass to the goalkeeper that very ended up turning to an own goal. So it's not been a bad game, but it just needs a little bit more oomph into it for this to turn into a lively one. As it stays 0-0 right now. And Mahale's still down. Of course, with a clash of heads, always got to watch out. We saw in the Premier League the concussion substitution rule, which I think is a brilliant, brilliant addition. And for once is actually something that the Premier League should be proud of, bringing that in. Because other leagues don't have it. And I think we will see other leagues across world football bring that rule in the future, because it's a really, really good rule in the end to bring into football. But Meaty's put, yeah, mate. Very best of luck with you, buddy. You're going to need one fairly soon, I think. one before half-time maybe, and it puts you in a good position, but no bets on tonight. I'm having a bit of a break. I had a few bets on for the darts, and none of them came in, so I'm like, oh no, shocking weekend when it comes to betting. Daz has said Mike Dean ref for West Ham v Leeds, could be goal, VAR checking, no goal given in the end. And Kaz put, would love to see an Inter/AC Milan back in the Champions League. Seems like that ever since they were both in it together. I mean, it'd be great, innit? I mean, both of them haven't been in it for years now. I mean, obviously we've had Inter in it, but both of them together probably won't have been till 2012, 2011, when both of them were at the peak of the game. Maybe even 2013 as the two teams were kind of tailing off. So it's been a long, long time, and I'm hoping AC Milan can hold on and get that UCL spot, because it'd be brilliant to have them together. And maybe if they both get through, have a Milan derby in the UCL. That'd be bloody brilliant. But Saint Santini, how do you know you're good? But he's put, I need 3 more first half corners and 14 corners in total. What do you think of the chances? I think he'll definitely get the 3 corners. It's a very, very even game so far, Saint Santini. Both teams having a good spell of possession. Lots of opportunities to come forward. So I do think you'll get those 3 corners. 14 overall, depending what happens in the second half, could be possible. But Perisic on the left wing here puts the ball into the box towards Lukaku, who tries, I think, to just backheel the ball, but it's straight into the hands of Sportiello in the end, and that is probably what I'd class as a chance in the match so far, because it's been not really many so far. And a good moment there for Inter to come forward, but I do think you'll get 3 more first half corners. With 20 minutes left, you should have it in the bag. And in terms of you need 14 in total, we've had so far in the match. Let me get the stats up for the game just to see how many we've actually had to check for you. Currently we've had corners 5, so you need another 9, which I still think is plausible. Get another 2 or 3 in this first half, and you'll be in a fairly good position for that. As Handanovic tries to play the ball out from the back, plays it to Vidal, and he's a little bit lucky there because Raymond Freuler, coming for the ball, could have very nearly got a touch on it and maybe even a chance on goal, as Vidal just has to hoof the ball away, and he's a little bit lucky. It actually deflects off the foot of Freuler and out of play for a goal kick, which is being hoofed towards Lukaku, and now this could be a good chance for Lukaku. Brilliant first touch from him, which is something you don't get to say often. Lukaku, then his second touch is poor, comes towards the edge of the box. Well, Lautaro Martinez takes a shot on, and it's deflected in the end, and you think to yourself, all the hard work that Lukaku did there. Brilliant first touch, but his second touch was poor. And usually, we're saying it's his first touch that's awful, but real good chance there for Inter Milan to come forward, and now it's going to be Atalanta coming forward. Malinovsky plays the ball to Zapata on the left wing. Doesn't really work here, Zapata. He's inside the box, sprays it in towards the path of Malinovsky, and it's cleared by Hakimi. And this game just coming to life in the last minute or two, as Brozovic tries to hit the ball long again to Lukaku. It's eventually deflected off Martin de Roon, but 2 big chances there in the match. But that big chance was for Romelu Lukaku, who, for me, should have at least taken on an opportunity. Good first touch, and maybe didn't have it under as much control as I expected. But I do think in the end, it was one of those where you've got to be making the most of an opportunity like that. It was a brilliant ball over the top. I think it was Brian Brozovic. But he'll be frustrated with that. I mean, we're seeing it now. Jim City just pulling on the shirt of Lukaku. And his first touch, I didn't think was too bad. I mean, the commentator on this is saying he never really got it under control, which I do agree to a certain extent. But his first touch was good. And then his second touch after that was just poor. Couldn't really get a foothold of the ball, as they've gone long ball again here, Inter. Going to try and get it towards Lautaro Martinez, and it's headed out by Christian Romero, who's had a lot of work to do in this first 25 minutes. And I think it's actually going to be given as offside in the end. The linesman putting his flag up, I think. A little bit late, though, in terms of the decision for it to be offside, but I think they still play to the rules like the Premier League do, where the flag cannot be put up until after the ball is out of play. But Kaz put concussion subs to be used in the League of Ireland for the upcoming season, which is perfect. As I said, I think we will see a lot more leagues bring concussion subs into the game. because it's a bloody brilliant rule, and it's something that should have probably been introduced years ago and hadn't, which baffles me. Absolutely baffles me. But the good thing is it's getting introduced now, and that people have sat around a table and said, look, we're getting more concussions these days. You've got to protect players, and bring this concussion sub into the game is spot on for me. Absolutely spot on. As we edge towards half an hour into this match, still 0-0 as it stands. I may be yawning, and that might make it look like a boring game. He's not had a lot of chances. In fact, when you look at the stats of the match, both teams haven't had a shot on target yet, which is what I was saying before. It just needs a little bit more of a clinical edge in this match to make it a bit more exciting. I didn't think that Lukaku chance was going to be the best one, and there's been a long ball lofted towards Lautaro. Yet again, Christian Romero at the back does brilliantly well, and he might actually be able to lead Atalanta on a counter-attack here. It's going to be a lovely ball into Zapata from Malinowski, and in the end, the referee's actually going to pull it back for a free kick. I think Zapata with a foul, and it was a good tackle at first from Bastoni. Zapata tries to get the ball back from the Italian centre-back, and in the end, he does foul him and gives the free kick away. And well, he's certainly frustrated with that one, but it's the right decision from the referee to give that as a free kick. As we continue on. And Atalanta getting the ball back after Lukaku slips. Lovely flick from Zapata to Pessina. And Pessina's got a real chance here. He's at the edge of the box. Tries to play a ball towards Malinowski. Heavy ball from the young Italian. But somehow Malinowski keeps the ball. And Atalanta are going to come forward here. It's Freuler into De Vrij. Now to Zapata, who's taken on a long-range effort, and like all the shots we've had in the match so far, it is off target and is miles wide. It's not the greatest opportunity in the world by the Colombian there. Real waste. Although, I thought for a second it had actually gone out for a corner, which baffled me, because he definitely was nowhere near any player. But it is going to be a goal kick, I think. Yeah, it is going to be a goal kick. I got worried then because there were a lot of players still at the pitch. I was thinking there was no way anybody could touch on the ball, but yeah, spot on there. Going to be a goal kick there for Handanovic to take. As we do reach the 30-minute mark in just 20 seconds' time. Both Zapata and Lukaku looking very dangerous in this game so far. Not dangerous enough, in my opinion. But still loads of time for the first goal in this match. 15 minutes left of the first half, 0-0 as it stands, although Atalanta coming forward here. Freuler trying to play the ball into De Vrij, giving away, and now Lautaro Martinez can counter-attack it. It would be a 2-on-4. And a heavy touch at the end by the Argentine. Free kick will be given away. And I think he's been given to Inter Milan for a foul on Lautaro Martinez. And I think Daron fuming with the referee there. He thought he'd got the ball in the end, and just looking at it now, really good work from Lautaro Martinez to get the ball, and yeah, a bit of a flying tackle there from Daron, which then causes Lautaro Martinez to go flying into the centre-back Jim City. So a little bit of a foul there from Lautaro, but not much you can do in that situation when he's being pushed over. But, I mean, we're just looking back at that chance there from Lukaku earlier where the ball was lofted long. Jim City was pulling the shirt of Lukaku, which in that situation, had he held on a little bit longer, could have been a red card. I think we saw something similar a few weeks ago in the Premier League with West Brom. It was a handball from Semi Ajayi in the halfway line, which was given as a red card, stopping a one-on-one opportunity with the goalkeeper. I think that would have been a similar situation with pulling the shirt, because Lukaku would have been through on goal, but Jim City, probably half a second lucky that he took his hand off of the ball, because I think that would have been a red. Especially with how well the ball was lofted from Brozovic. He would have got a much better touch, I think, had he not been pulled back. But 31 minutes on the clock. Inter Milan looking to come forward here. Ivan Perisic on the left wing, not really done much in this game so far, if I'm honest with you. Kind of saw him within the first 30 seconds taking the early corner in the match. But apart from that, not really done much so far. Been really quiet on that left-hand side of the pitch. As Bernaldo's in the building. How you doing, buddy? Oh, you're all good. Come on, Atalanta. Bergamo Calcio. Honestly. Oh, you're good, Bernaldo. Welcome. How are the nerves? I'm saying nerves, but are you looking forward to the Dinamo Zagreb game on Thursday? because should be a good match, that one. Very interesting game for me in the Europa League, that one. I think there's going to be a lot more to that game than people expect. They've got really good players, Zagreb. Orsic and Petkovic. I think Tottenham will win it, and probably quite comfortably, but Mislav Orsic is a player to look out for. Was actually going to move to the Premier League with West Brom, I think, at one point, and then didn't. Which is a real shame, because I think he's a bloody good player. As Inter Milan just going to play around the back. Handanovic shoots the ball away. Really poor clearance in the end by Handanovic. Lands at the feet of Darum, but Inter Milan have got it back, and now Perisic is going to lead the attack. He's at the halfway line. He's going to switch the play to Achraf Hakimi. Eventually, it lands at the feet of Barella. And now he plays it to Hakimi. It's just outside the box. Lovely ball towards Vidal. Back heel towards Lautaro. Doesn't get to him in the end, but good work from Bastoni, who's come up the pitch with a long ball lofted to Lukaku. But Sportiello gets there in the end. And a good save from the Italian goalkeeper. But really nice work there, actually, from Inter. I was just saying a moment ago, not really seen much of Ivan Perisic in this game, but that was the first real opportunity for the Croatian to add a little bit of spice into this match. And it was lovely one-touch football from Inter for a moment, but Atalanta, as I said, playing really well defensively. They've not conceded many goals this season, 32 to be precise. A much more better organised team than they have been in the past, because we've seen years gone by, especially over the last two, they've scored a lot of goals but conceded a lot as well. They're kind of getting the right balance now between scoring a lot of goals and being a good defence as well. And although we saw in the Champions League, when they conceded a lot of goals to Liverpool, which I don't think they would do that right now with the way Liverpool are playing, but they have got the defensive frailties at points, but it's not often you see them. As Bernardo's put, should be exciting. Should be a good game. Looking forward to that, actually. Going to be a good week of football. Can't beat the Champions League and the Europa League. As Kyle said, heard the Premier League is going to change the handball rule for next season, I think, but stay the same this season, meaning bullshit handball decisions can continue to happen. Why not change it now? Baffles me. Absolutely baffles me. You think, I think they changed one of the rules, didn't they, recently, because of the Fulham game. If they can change the rule in that situation, just change it straight away, because as you said, there's going to be so many more stupid decisions given as handball that next season won't be because the rule's been changed. Which baffles me, as I said. I don't know why they don't just change it up now, so when it comes to those types of decisions being made, they can just go, it's not a handball or a penalty, play on, or not give that red card to the players. Got a handball. But it's the Premier League, isn't it? They don't do stuff these years. It's going to play out from the back of the halfway line. 10 minutes left here, to be precise. Still 0-0 as it stands. Neither team able to really break each other down and get into the final third. It's been a really well-organised game from both teams. Both top scorers in the league. 62 goals for Inter, 60 for Atalanta, but none in this game so far. And I think there'll be a lot of people, like myself, who probably came into this thinking it could even be 1-2, 2-2, 2-1. Those types of scorelines by half-time, but it's not looking that way unless this next 10 minutes turns into an absolutely bonkers 10 minutes of action. As apparently Lingard's just scored for West Ham, which is good to see. West Ham doing very well this season. Kind of hoping they get Champions League or Europa League football, because they bloody deserve it with the way they've played. And they're enjoyable to watch as well. It's lovely to see David Moyes, after years of interesting decisions of clubs, Sociedad, Sunderland, to name a few, finally getting a big break at another Premier League club and doing well. As Lukaku comes forward here. Good defending at the back by Rafael Toloi. And Zapata now on the left wing, who has been more on the left wing tonight than he has at striker, which is a bit of an interesting choice. But he's given the ball away. And now there's a chance for Hakimi. Good defending by Robin Gosens, who keeps tight on the Moroccan winger/defender. And Inter Milan now just looking to dominate the final 10 minutes of this match and try and get that opening goal of the game. It's going to be with De Vrij at the halfway line. Now with Barella. Don't seem to be pushing forward here. Atalanta playing really tight to each player, and now they're coming forward. Zapata going to play a ball to Pacino on the left wing, lofted towards Zapata in the box, but Handanovic gets the ball, and it'll be a foul anyway on the goalkeeper from Zapata. But good work there. Really, really good work. Lovely ball put into the box. It was actually Gosens in the end, sorry, not Pessina. And Gosens probably looking one of the better players on the pitch tonight. Another really good cross into the box, but just can't seem to get anything going in the final third. Both clubs don't seem to be able to get anything going in the final third. It's been really sloppy from both teams, which is what you wouldn't expect, but hopefully we'll find that first goal soon. But yeah, he's brilliant for Lingard as well, isn't it? Now he's at West Ham, not under the limelight at Manchester United, flourishing very well. And I think West Ham might even sign him up permanently as Vidal goes for a back heel and gives the ball away. And it now come to Joachim Mihail into Malinovsky, pushed over by Vidal, but the referee says no to the free kick. And Barella will push forward here. And it is going to be Brozovic. Lots of space in the midfield. Croatian tries to dink a ball to Ivan Perisic, who'd made a good run from the left wing position to the middle of the pitch, and he just didn't get the ball in the end. And now it's Atalanta coming forward. Very end-to-end in this last minute. Can they get that goal, though, before half-time? It's going to be De Roon. Now into Malinovsky. Feeds the ball to Zapata, who's just at the edge of the box. Now into Mihail. And deflected for a corner, which is exactly what Santini needs. He needs 2 more corners now before half-time. And maybe we might even get a goal from this corner. We're just seeing there the supposed foul from Vidal. I think it's the right decision in the end to not give that as a free kick. It's a good tackle from Vidal. Malinovsky trying to make the most of that. It's going to be a corner. Ball lofted into the box. Oh, what a save that is. That is an absolutely world-class save from Handanovic. Brilliant reflexes even from the Slovenian goalkeeper. Ball comes into the box, headed by Zapata. It's pretty much in the middle of the box. It's a brilliant header, and the Slovenian gets down low and saves it. And now there's a clearance off the line. Another good header, this time coming towards the right-hand side of the near post. Brozovic on the line is able to clear it. But 2 big chances in the match there for Atalanta to get the first goal of the game. But really good work. If it was Jim City who got the second header, which was cleared off the line at the near post by Brozovic. But Handanovic, one of, as I've always said for me, one of the best Serie A keepers over the last decade. Very, very underrated in European football, I think. Never mentioned as one of the best keepers in the world, which I personally think he is one of the best keepers in the world. You know, when you put him on a list of goalkeepers, he's probably right up there. And no doubt, stats-wise, he will be as well. Clean sheets and saves and all that kind of stuff. He'll be up there, no doubt. But as part, I need Leeds to win or draw for position. Yeah, it's a nervy one, isn't it? It's quite an interesting season now. As we get towards pretty much the last quarter, isn't it now, really? 10 games left, I think. Looking like we're going to have quite an interesting end to the season with the Champions League and Europa League race for the spots. Hoping West Ham don't bottle it and do actually come out with a position because they deserve it. There's going to be a chance here for Atalanta to come forward. Mihail lobs the ball into the box, comes towards Zapata, who doesn't get a good header on the ball. Although Atalanta will get it back with De Roon. He's going to play it to Remo Freuler. Lovely pass now to Pessina, who tries to take the shot on. But it's good defended by Skriniar, who, as I said, quite a hefty player on the ball. Who's fouled by Pessina, and it'll be a free kick for Inter Milan anyway. But he's a very bulky player, very tall as well, and he's been really, really good so far defensively wise. As we just see the save from Handanovic. What a save. Great header. And in the end, he just uses his left arm, punches his fist out to get the ball away from goal. And that is brilliant goalkeeping from Handanovic. As Chris is in the chat, how are you doing, buddy? Oh, good, he says hi. Hope you're well. I'm doing very, very good indeed, Chris. How are you? Hope you were able to enjoy the darts over the weekend and have been able to sit back and relax for a little bit. Because I know the football stuff hasn't been great, but the darts was great, wasn't it? With 4 minutes left on the clock here. Inter 0, Atalanta 0. Are we going to get a goal before half-time? It's got better and better as the game has gone on. Here's Lautaro Martinez, who takes the shot on inside the box towards the right-hand side of the near post, and it's gone out for a corner. In this game, in the last 10 minutes, I would say, or last 5, has certainly improved pace-wise. Was a little bit scrappy at points, but now the teams are looking much, much better, and this could be a great chance for someone like Lukaku or De Vrij to get the head on this and change Antonio Conte's half-time team talk. It's going to be Brozovic who plays. It's short into Barella, who lofts in a really poor ball into the box. It'll eventually come towards Lautaro Martinez outside the box, and Perisic will lob a terrible, terrible ball, which doesn't even make it into the box. It actually goes out of play for a goal kick. And a waste of an opportunity there as Brozovic talks to his Croatian teammate. Very, very disappointed with that cross there in the end. And it's looking like we're going to be going in at half-time here at 0-0. Craig Dawson scores a superior jumper of the header from a corner. Is it 2-0 to West Ham now? Or is it still 1-0? Because if it's 2-0, then Craig Dawson has been a bloody good signing. I mean, Craig Dawson, regardless if he scored or not, has been a mad signing, isn't it? Who'd have thought Craig Dawson would be the centre-back West Ham would need? I mean, it's mad, isn't it? It's crazy. What a player. Comes from Watford, who'd been relegated, to West Ham, and is now fighting for Champions League football. There we go, Van Put. Never mind, no jump, just runs into it like a freight train. I mean, he's quite a tall player. He's a lanky man, isn't he? I'm saying lanky. Is he lanky, Dawson? Maybe not lanky, but he's a bulky, tall player. But it's mad, isn't it? The scouting West Ham has done is incredible. But it is 2-0, Craig Dawson. There is absolutely no way Craig Dawson's going back to Watford. I'd put my money on it. He will be with West Ham next season, regardless of what happens with the club. They will sign him up. There's no way he stays at Watford. Because, I mean, Watford might still not even go up yet, but there's a chance here for Inter Milan to come forward. Ball crossed into the box from Perisic towards Lukaku. Good defended by Toloi, who just bodies the Belgian. And another opportunity goes wide, this time for the home team. Just wasn't precise enough in the end, Perisic with the ball to Lukaku. And it allowed Rafael Toloi to step across Lukaku. And it, of course, doesn't mean that Inter were going to get that chance that they probably would have hoped to have got before half-time. But Bernardo's just put, who would have thought West Ham would be where they were? Honestly, very impressive. Credit to David Moyes and the team. I mean, considering last season, they were in turmoil at one point. And they were all saying the season after Diagana was sold that, you know, it was going to be a tricky season. And to be fair, I think even I said it. I thought they were going to struggle this season. But they played fucking brilliantly over this season. And I pray they get some form of European football, because that stadium is built for European nights, and there would be nothing better for West Ham fans to go back to the London Stadium, hopefully next season, and have European or Champions League football, because they deserve it. In my personal opinion, they bloody deserve it. And even Europa League football, they'd be buzzing with that, because for the club it means everything. You know, it allows them to go out there and buy better players. They've got, for me, a squad that would be built and is good enough for European football right now. And that's only going to get better as they make more signings. But imagine him in the Champions League as well. That'd be bonkers. As we go to the last 25 seconds, 1 minute of additional time in this game. 20 seconds left of it. And we will be going into the break at half-time at 0-0, I would assume, unless something incredible happens in the next kind of 10 seconds. Chris putting Carlisle v Grimsby tomorrow. Is Carlisle's last chance of hope finishing in playoff. If we beat worst team in the league, then relegators, not Grimsby. As referee blows his half-time whistle, this game, which I think a lot of us expected to be a bit of a goal mammoth tonight, hasn't turned out to be that game yet. It's 0-0 in this match, and there's not really been many definitive opportunities in this game so far for either team. We've had 2 shots on target, which both came from corners in the end. And we've got to talk about that first incredible header that was from Duvan Zapata later on in the game. Handanovic with a world-class save, just got his left hand and punched the ball away from his goal, and it was just one of those brilliant saves, you know, that will go into Handanovic's highlight reel once he retires. But just literally a minute after that, once the ball had gone out of play for another corner, it was Jim City's turn this time to get a header, which was put towards the right-hand side of the near post. But Marcelo Brozovic was there to clear the ball off the line, and another chance went wide for Atalanta. In a game that I have to say, right now, currently, is a really, really open match. Both teams not clinical enough, in my opinion, in the final third. I said it earlier on, I think it's very, very reminiscent of the whole situation with the Chelsea-Man United game. Two teams going for it, who need points, but just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. And that's what we're seeing right now. I personally think we've had 2 or 3 very good opportunities for both sides, where balls have been sprayed into the box and either the striker hasn't been in the right position, or it's just, as I said, a really good ball into the box or a poor ball in the end. I mean, we had a chance from Romero, which nearly went into his own net. It was a little dinked ball back to his keeper that Sportiello had to head out. But as I said, Perisic a few times, he's got himself in very good positions on the left wing, tried to spray a ball into the box. It's been a bad cross, and you think, had he put a better ball in there, maybe Lukaku or Lautaro could have got onto the end of it. And maybe I do think we might see one of these two sides make a change after half-time, just try and freshen it up, bring someone on who can be a little bit more clinical maybe up top, someone like an Ilicic for Atalanta, or put someone on the wings maybe for Inter who could do a bit more work, maybe bring on someone like Alexis Sanchez on the left wing, which I know I'm saying Alexis Sanchez isn't clinical. I've said it in the past because I can remember Kyle saying about me saying he was a definitive finisher or something like that, he was clinical. He might be the player that Inter Milan need in this situation on the wing. Scored a few goals in the last week, actually. I think 2-0 win they got into midweek, where he scored 2 goals, so he is in good form right now. But still 0-0 in this game. As I said, I think as the game continues on, it will be one of these matches where both teams will look, as the game continues on, to press men forward, push a few extra numbers forward, try and get that winning goal, because Atalanta right now, as it stands, if they do get a point today, they will be staying... they will jump into 4th place on 50 points. They've got a better goal difference than AS Roma, who already played earlier in the weekend. As for Inter Milan, they would have a 4-point gap over their inner city rivals AC Milan, but they do need to get a win, in my opinion, because Juventus do have a game in hand and they could go up to 55 points, which would only put them 5 points behind Inter, which doesn't sound a lot considering there's still so many games left in Italy right now. Both of these teams, they need the win, so hopefully the second half is better. But let's take a moment to quickly talk about some of the content coming up on the channel over the next few days, because as I said, we have got an entire week of non-stop streams. From last Friday to next Friday, there are streams every single day, so you don't want to miss out. Of course, tonight you're watching Inter Milan taking on Atalanta. Tomorrow, myself and Rowan, we're going to be back. Dortmund taking on Sevilla, and Porto taking on Juventus in the Champions League. Going to be 2 very, very interesting games indeed. On Wednesday night, you can join Will, and it's not going to be Adam now. We've had to change a few things. Liverpool taking on Leipzig, and PSG against Barcelona. Are we going to get an incredible Champions League night? Again, we'll have to find out. Thursday evening, 5:45, United against AC Milan and Slavia Prague Rangers. The 2 early evening kickoffs, and then at 8 o'clock we will have the Gold Show, which will be with myself, Kieran L, Will, and Adam. You don't want to miss out on that. And then, of course, on Friday, the A-League, because you guys have been bringing the support fantastically well for these games. We're going to continue with them on Melbourne City taking on MacArthur Bulls. That is going to be on Friday morning. Don't want to miss out on that one. That's from 8:05. And then, as you can see on the screen, we are still looking for people to take part in the UCL FIFA Sim tournament. I'm going to tweet it out once again. Daz, if you're in the chat, if you've got the name of your friend that wanted to take part, then do tell me his name in the chat, and I will put his name down. But we've got about 10 spaces left. If you want to take part and you're in the stream and maybe you haven't put your name down, then we are doing a Sim FIFA tournament. You don't need an Xbox or a PlayStation. You don't even need FIFA to play in it, because it'll be the AI that sims the match. It's going to be based on this season's Champions League team, so you will get one of the 32 teams that are taking part in this season's Champions League, and the winner will get themselves a nice little cash/gift card prize. So looking forward to that. We're looking to do that potentially on Friday maybe. It just all depends on, of course, whether we get enough players to participate in that. So that is the UCL FIFA Sim tournament. Do put your name down in the chat if you haven't already and you want to take part in that. If you want to check out our social media as well, I know, Chris, you put in the chat, you saw the League 2 blog today. I'll talk about that in a second, because our Twitter and our Instagram is @_top corner, and our Instagram is _sportscorner_. We always tweet out and post on Instagram when we go live on YouTube, as well as when we post our articles up on our website. We currently have got a few new articles up today. I put a FIFA 21 Team of the Week prediction up. If you're a big fan of FIFA, you'll know Team of the Week comes out every single Wednesday, so you can check that out and see some special cards available. There was a piece that was put up by Simon. Brilliant piece on Fulham and how they've improved their transfer business. since 2018, which was the last time when they were in the Premier League. And then Adam just put up a piece before tonight's stream, a brilliant piece on League 2 and how the season is completely wide open. So a real mixture of content on there. If you haven't checked it out, there's a few other pieces as well. Dachi Kamada piece, pieces based on the handball rule and stuff like that. Then please do go check out the website. It's the sports-corner.com. I've sorted the link out now, so the link does work. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it's in the description. If not, Carl always puts it in the chat, which he has, the absolute legend. Check it out, link in description, and you can check out those articles because there is a lot on there. And still, a hell of a lot to come over this week. Your support is massively appreciated with the website. But we're going to half-time with the score at 0-0. Don't think we necessarily expected it to be 0-0, but hopefully the second half is much better. I'll be back in about a few minutes' time. We'll go through, of course, the two sub-benchers who could maybe make a difference in this match, and then we'll get ready for the second half. So go get yourself a coffee, a drink, a pint, whatever you drink these days, and we'll be back in a few moments for the second half of this game. Shouldn't be, fingers crossed, touch wood, a much better second half. See you in a few minutes. And we're back for the second half of action between Inter and Atalanta. Welcome. Thank you very much for those of you that did stay. Just had a little bit of an extra break there to get ready for the second half of this match. Now, I just had a look on Sky Bet. And they're saying, and I just thought I'd have a look, because why not? It was 50-1 for Vidal to get sent off in this match. 50-1, which seems bonkers. Because, I guess he's got a bit of a hot streak in him. I don't think he'd get sent off, if I'm being honest with you. I think he'll probably still be on the pitch by the time that this game ends. But 50-1 for Vidal to get sent off. Strange. Very, very weird indeed. But we are going to get back underway in a moment with the action in the second half of this game between Atalanta and AC Milan. Inter Milan even, not AC Milan. If you didn't watch the first half, not the most enjoyable first halves in the world in terms of end-to-end action and shots on target. We only, in fact, had 2 shots on target, both of them coming from Atalanta in the end, quite late on in the first half of action. But there is plenty of time left in this game. Both teams have said they need to go for it with the way and the complexion of the table is right now. Inter Milan need to continue to bridge the gap between themselves and their inner-city rivals AC Milan sat in second. As for Atalanta, if they want to get a Champions League spot this season, they have to get a win today because a gap will start to begin to build between themselves and the likes of Juventus, AC, and of course there's already a gap between themselves and Inter anyway, but they need to make sure that that gap doesn't start to increase as the weeks go on, or else they could find themselves in a fight for the UCL spot and fighting for the 5th place spot in Serie A too. So very, very nervous. 45 minutes of action to come. I don't think any of the managers have actually made any changes, which I understand to a certain extent, but I don't. Because when you look at the 2 benches, I think this type of game, when you look at the away side, is screaming out for Josip Ilicic. Somebody in there, a little bit with a bit of height, whip the ball into him in the side of the box. We've seen a few times tonight, twice in fact, where there's been good crosses into the box to the likes of Zapata and Jim City, where the balls have been put in, and there's been good headers, and Inter Milan have just been able to deal with it by eventually clearing the ball away, or a good save from Handanovic. Someone like Ilicic coming on, very good super sub, could come into this game, cause real problems for the back line of Inter. Or you could go down the other route and say, rather than somebody quick, with height, you could have somebody quick like Muriel, who could come on, really make a difference in this game. We've seen multiple times this season. I think he scored 15 goals in Serie A. 90% of them off the bench. But they've done exactly what I thought they would. Josip Ilicic is coming onto the pitch. Ruslan Malinovsky, who I've got to say has been really, really poor since joining Atalanta. He comes off the pitch at half-time. And Ilicic is going to be coming on, probably playing as a right forward / right cam. So he's onto the pitch. A slight tweak of the system then for Atalanta as the referee blows the whistle for the second half to get underway. Don't think we're necessarily going to get the 4-3 that we were hoping for, but let's hope that the second half is much better because both these teams were definitely in the mood for goals. I can tell you that for sure. It wasn't the worst 45 minutes of action in the world. It was just lacking a little bit of a clinical edge, which hopefully we will see in this second half with someone like Josip Ilicic on the pitch now. It should give Atalanta an extra hand up top. But it's going to be an interesting game, as I said. We do need a few more moments, I feel, early on in this match to really kickstart this game. And I think give it the first 5 minutes or so and we should, fingers crossed, get a chance on target for Inter because they're still waiting for that first big moment in the match. As I said, we had the chance from Romelu Lukaku, which is incredible. The fact that they haven't had a shot on target when they got Lukaku and Lautaro Martinez up top. They're just saying on the commentary now, Luis Muriel tends to score a goal every 62 minutes that he plays, which is ludicrous, and that's how good he's been this season for them. Genuinely a very, very good player. And when you look at the odds, Ilicic to score at any point 9-2. Romelu Lukaku, don't know what I'm saying that, Lukaku. Romelu Lukaku is what I wanted to say. I always make mistakes on here. 5-2 for Romelu Lukaku. Lautaro Martinez 4-1 to score, which is quite surprising actually for him to be at 4-1 scoring this game. But Jesus Christ, I said Romelu Lukaku. That's not his name. Romelu Lukaku is his name. Always going to make a mistake. Don't leave that one down. But we've got a chance here for Atalanta to come forward. 2 minutes on the clock in this second half. Going to try and get that nice early goal in this game. I've got a feeling Ilicic is going to get on the score sheet. I've got a £5 free bet on Sky Bet. I was very tempted to put £5 on him to go and score in this match. But, I mean, I know you said earlier, Kyle, I remember when you said Sanchez was clinical. If he comes on, I'll be very tempted to put the £5 on Alexis Sanchez. I doubt he'd score, but do you know what? For punt, there might be a chance here for Atalanta. It's going to be Zapata. Now into the path of Ilicic, who takes a long-range effort on. It's going to come back to Ilicic again. Still with Ilicic, and then cleared away by Skriniar. But not further away as he probably would have expected to have been. And Atalanta coming up again. It's going to be Mihail on the wing. Plays ball into the box, but it's straight into the hands of Samir Handanovic, who can make a very simple save. And a good recovery there from the Slovenian, I think. No, Slovakian, sorry, not Slovenian. I was saying he's Slovenian, he's Slovakian, isn't he, I think. That's always the tough thing with Handanovic and Oblak. They're both very hard to tell which one's from Slovenia and which one's from Slovakia. And you'll know, especially, if you play FIFA. Because you see the flags, and you have no idea which one's which, unless you've got very good world map knowledge. As Atalanta just struggling to play the ball out from the back right now. Find themselves in a bit of a tricky situation, but they've done well in the end to get the ball away from their goal. And now it's going to be Zapata on the left wing coming forward. Seems to be playing as a left winger tonight, which is a very weird choice, but it's working quite well actually. It's going to be Freuler. Now to Ilicic, who is going to be an interesting play to watch in this second half. Really given the freedom of the pitch, Ilicic. Playing as a cam, but will probably play as a striker. Plays as a midfielder sometimes. He can easily do it, in my opinion. He's got the height. He's got the bulk. Maybe not as consistent as what he was the season before, where he was rattling in stupid amount of goals. But very, very crucial player at given points for Atalanta this season. I think he scored a goal and got an assist in the last game from the bench as well. So, very, very decisive player. Another one of the good super subs that they've got, of course, Muriel being the best of the bunch. As we get towards the first 5 minutes of this second half. And it's still 0-0 in this game. But Atalanta looking the better of the two sides, you have to admit. Done really, really well indeed. As Handanovic just going to have the ball around the back here again at Inter Milan. I've said it in the past. Inter Milan, not one of the best teams at playing out from the back. They've got a really large tendency to give the ball away in quite stupid situations. And they've just done that right now. And now is a chance for Ilicic to come forward. But the ball played in is a little bit too heavy from Remo Freuler. And they've got to play for a goal kick instead. But very reckless sometimes when playing out from the back, in my opinion. They just don't seem to play out from the back really well, which for a Conte team you'd expect. And maybe it's just the games that I watch where they don't play out from the back as well as they usually do. And maybe I'm just a bad luck curse for them, but just a few times tonight where the ball's been played to Handanovic and some of the defenders have given the ball away, or he's kicked it Handanovic short and it's gone to an Atalanta player. But talk about Atalanta, they're going to come forward here. And it's Josip Ilicic, had a good few touches on the ball. Nice and early on in this second half. But good defending in the... I mean, I was just about to say good defending in the end, but the referee's given a free kick here for a bit of shirt pulling. I mean, just going to see now, it was Bastoni then pulling his shirt. And yeah, maybe a little bit heavy on the shirt pulling, but I thought it was quite good in the end. But referee gives a free kick either way, which Ilicic lobs into the box, but Handanovic will make a very, very simple save indeed. I had a little bit of a worry there. I'd literally just saw on my screen the live stream, and I thought I'd left myself on the... I thought I'd left myself for a second on the... what they call it? On the load... the opening screen. That made me laugh so bad I nearly flipped over my tablet. He has been good for Inter this season, Kyle. I'll have to get his stats up. Let me see if I can get Alexis' stats up this season without breaking the stream. Alexis Sanchez, here we go. So this season, Alexis Sanchez has 5 goals, 3 assists in 18 games, but most of those are off the bench. I mean, maybe not lethal, but one of those players, I guess, where he can bring something to the game. Do you know what I mean? Maybe not clinical, though. Maybe I overemphasised that too much. But Vidal's coming off, so that 50-1 idea of him getting sent off would have probably not come into fruition anyway, because Christian Eriksen's going to come on for a little bit more creativity in the midfield as Vidal comes off the pitch. And he runs his course after 50 minutes, but Inter here, going to come forward with Nicola Barella. First touch of the ball here for Christian Eriksen. Now to Lukaku. Lovely 1-2 football between Brozovic and Lukaku. Doesn't get to the Belgian in the end. And, well, an interesting effort from Ivan Perisic just outside the box. Takes the shot on first time, trying to curl it into the bottom right-hand corner, which I don't think anybody actually expected. I mean, the goalkeeper was stretching a little bit there, and I think a little bit more curl on that, and that could have easily gone in the back of the net. But it'll be a goal, corner even, not a goal kick. And a chance here for the likes of Lukaku and Skriniar to get ahead on this and put Inter into the lead. Ball lobbed in by Eriksen, first touch of the game. Going to come towards De Vrij. Still with Skriniar, and it's in! They've got the goal! And it's from centre-back Milan Skriniar, and that was the goal that we needed in this game. And I think for a second there it was Atalanta who just stopped and thought that the play was going to be given as a free kick to Atalanta. But the referee played on, and Milan Skriniar with a big goal in Serie A. And that was a lovely, lovely finish. And this is what I mean. Everybody stopped for a second. I do think the referee at one point was actually thinking about giving a penalty anyway, but he didn't in the end. And the ball comes in. It's headed by, I think it's Ivan Perisic. Lovely first touch from Milan Skriniar. And he just puts a good amount of power on it. And for a centre-back, that is a brilliant, brilliant finish right into the bottom left-hand corner of the goal. And for a centre-back, that is a brilliant, brilliant finish. And we have got a 1-0 lead for Inter Milan. And that is a crucial, crucial goal in the Scudetto race. And a crucial goal as well for the Champions League race. Because Atalanta now need to come out. And the first goal of the night goes to the centre-back with a striker's finish, 1-0. With just 10 minutes on the clock in the second half. And that is what we needed in this game, just to liven it up a little bit. Just one goal, and now a chance here for Lukaku to come forward to get the second. But good defending in the end by Romero. And it's going to be another Inter Milan corner. And now the home team just starting to put the pressure on Atalanta. And you can see there's now a lot more energy than there was in the last 10 minutes of the second half. Can they recreate that corner again and make it 2-0 within the space of 2 minutes? Big moment here for Atalanta. I mean, there's not much Sportiello could have done in that situation. It was a bloody good finish. But let's see what happens here. So 55 minutes on the clock. Corner will be whipped in here. Inter Milan chance to get 2 goals in 2 minutes. Ball's lobbed in by Eriksen. Comes towards De Vrij, but cleared away in the end. And it's going to be Ilicic who tries to invigorate an Atalanta counter-attack, but it won't come to anything as Perisic gets the ball back. But James is in the building. His apologies, I'm late. Don't need to apologise at all. James, oh, you're good, but he says, been busy with work. How's everyone been? I'm not too bad, thanks, James. Just recuperating from last night's darts. I hope you're all good too and the work's going well. But just join us at the right time. Literally just had a goal in this game. And it's going to be interesting here to see how Atalanta react to that goal. Whether they make any changes. You know, as I said, Muriel is on the bench who could come on at some point. They've just brought on Ilicic as well within the last 10 minutes, so he's had a little bit of an effect on the game so far. But there's a mistake at the back here, and Lukaku's in. A slip at the back, Lukaku's in, and he doesn't take the opportunity on. But what a block from Romero. Brilliant, brilliant defending from the Argentine. And somehow he's hands on head for Lukaku, who should have made it 2-0. How's he done that, Romero? It's brilliant defending at the back. Goes in with the sliding tackle in the box, and I tell you what, Billy big bollocks there from Romero. Just seeing the chance again now. It's a slip of the back from Toloi. Lukaku's in. But what a tackle from Romero. I mean, if that was another touch from Lukaku, I think he could have put that in the goal. But Romero, brilliant, brilliant defending. That's world class. He's been brilliant tonight. Absolutely incredible. And a very consistent player for Atalanta. That, if I'm being honest with you, I think will be one of the next players from Atalanta to probably leave in the next few years and go to a big club. Because he's an incredible defender. I think they signed him from Genoa, I think it was, where he was before Atalanta. But what a player. Brilliant, brilliant player to watch. And it should be 2-0. We should be saying Lukaku scored and he hasn't. And that's the second opportunity for me tonight where Lukaku should have at least had a shot on target or a goal. And it could come back to bite them depending on what Atalanta do in the next half an hour. But he certainly brought the game to life. That's the important thing. We needed that. Because the first half was good, but it wasn't great. And I think now it could become great. As I think Inter are going to have a throw in here in the defensive half of play, which Ivan Perisic is going to take. And I've got a feeling that at some point, Perisic will be taken off and somebody like a Darmian or an Ashley Young will come on for a bit more of a defensive structure to the midfield. Depending on what happens maybe the next 10 or 15 minutes. If they want to see it out, then maybe bring on someone like a Darmian or a Young. But if they want to go for it, then I guess you could put Alexis Sanchez on the left wing. But right now they don't need to. They've got the important goal in this game. And that's all that matters. As Romero just giving the ball away here to the Argentine Lautaro Martinez. And in fact, it's going to be a free kick as well. And a yellow card for Romero. It's going to be a free kick just past the halfway line. And looking at it, we'll have to see whether that is the right decision or not. In fact, it's going to be Remo Freuler. Is it Remo Freuler's gone into the book? We'll have to see in a second. I thought that was a little bit harsh. But it was, yeah, it was Romero, I'm right. Romero goes into the book. And in the end, it's... Let's see the tackle here. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those where it's a 50-50 to go and get the ball. I think Romero actually gets the ball first, but high foot gives it as a free kick in the end. But James put, don't feel like Atalanta is the same without Papu. I know they aren't an incredible side anyway, but Gomez just has that something special about him. I mean, I'd probably say they are going to lose a lot of goals. I'd probably say they've lost about 10 or 15 goals that Papu Gomez would score. But right now, I wouldn't say that they're missing him either. I think they could have kept him, but with what happened with him disrespect to the club and stuff, he was never going to stay. But I would probably say they're not, right now, in my personal opinion, actually missing him as much as maybe people thought they would. I mean, Matteo Pessina, he's coming to the team and done a brilliant job so far. Whether he's going to be able to keep that form of consistency like Papu Gomez could, maybe not. But they've got a few other players as well. They've got Milanchuk, who I'm a little bit surprised hasn't played more for the club since joining from Russia. And then they've got Malinovsky as well, who has been really poor since joining. I think he's been a little bit maybe of a flop. So for me, they still need to go out there and get somebody to replace Papu Gomez. But I mean, right now they've got Ilicic, they've got Muriel, they've got Zapata, who were banging in the goals anyway. They just need another player next season to reinvigorate that front line, because Ilicic is getting on. He's not getting younger, so he'll be leaving at some point in the future. Maybe even at the end of the season, depending on what happens with the club. But talking about him here, he's on the ball, tries to play it to Mihail. Good defending at the back from Bastoni, who's gone down, but eventually ushers the ball away to Perisic. And now there could be a chance here for a lovely counter-attack from Lautaro. Lovely work from the Argentine, who tries to play the ball to Barella, and he's absolutely fuming, the Italian, from a poor ball from Lautaro Martinez. He did not like that pass from the Argentine. I mean, he was really lucky to beat Toloi at first, the forward, with a little bit of trickery that I don't think even he expected to come off, but poor pass in the end. And a really good chance, in fact, I think, there for Inter to try and counter-attack and get a second goal in this match, which they're going to need. Atalanta aren't the type of team to sit back and defend. I did call them the gung-ho side of European football. They are when they want to be. And with 30 minutes left, they'll feel like they've got loads of time to get back into this match. No rush to push numbers forward. As Ilicic plays the ball to Toloi. Now to Joachim Mihail on the right wing. You can see now Inter back in numbers, probing the ball forward. But ball lobbed into the box, and well, it was across the end. I think it was from Freuler, who flicked it at the near post, and it was Gosens who's got his head on it, but I don't actually think the ball was intended for the German, who was in a much awkward position anyway, and he wouldn't have been able to head that in. But not the greatest of chances in the world there for Atalanta, who are still looking to get a goal back in this game. Don't forget, if you are new, please don't forget to leave a like and subscription if you have enjoyed the watch-alongs so far tonight. Still got about half an hour left. Of course, we've got loads of action coming over the next few days. Champions League, including Sevilla, Dortmund, and Juventus against Porto. That's tomorrow. And then on Wednesday, we've got Barcelona PSG, as well as Leipzig Liverpool. All four of those games, I still think, are in the balance. I mean, the Barca one's going to be a bit of a struggle, being a 4-1 down, but Barcelona back into form recently. And that, for me, is going to be an interesting game to see how Barca react. Whether they can do La Remontada 2.0, because I think I might be covering that game, and I might not be covering the Juve one now, because Adam was originally supposed to be covering the game on Wednesday. He's had to change it up. So it might be me covering that game on Tuesday, and KD covering that game tomorrow night. But we'll have to see. We will have to see. It might be me covering both of them. Who knows? We'll have to find out. Could be seeing me on, be Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and Thursday. Bloody hell, 6 days of me in a row. Probably had enough of me by now. But James has put, was keeping an eye on West Ham Leeds on my way home. I can't believe how bad Leeds are at defending corners. The problem is Leeds are just bad at defending. Very enjoyable to watch on the attack, but shockingly bad at defending. And I know they've had a lot of their main defenders out. I know Llorente's been out for most of the season. Who was the other guy? Koch, wasn't it? Koch has been out for a lot of the season as well. So I understand in that respect, but for me, they have to still buy more defenders next season. I don't think they'll be good enough. And depending on what happens next season, they will not get away with shoddy defending with some of the teams coming up. In my personal opinion, they've got to improve that defence. They were let off the hook the instant minute Sheffield United and West Brom and teams like that play terrible. Obviously, Fulham looking the best team out of the three that have come up, in my opinion. I mean, you probably say Leeds looking the better of the three overall, but I think Fulham are a fantastic side to watch. Be absolutely criminal if they got relegated. I hope they do stay up. But 25 minutes on the clock left. Going to be a free kick for Atalanta just to the halfway line. Going to be played short as Muriel is getting ready to come on in this match. I don't know why, I've got a slight feeling Muriel's going to come on and score in this game. Probably be horribly wrong, but who knows. Maybe a little bit of pace is needed up top to really get this into back line, and he's a perfect player to bring on, Luis Muriel. Bags of pace, as you would expect from a player of his quality. As there's going to be a free kick here, I think, going to Atalanta. Right decision in the end there by the referee to give it. And the ball switched to Gosens. Now to Zapata, who's tackled at the edge of the box. Referee's not given a free kick, which I thought the referee was going to give. And the ball will go out of play for an Inter Milan throw-in. So there's going to be a few changes, I think, here. And Luis Muriel just getting ready to come on in this match. He knows what he's got to do in this game. Being an incredible player this season for Atalanta. He's averaging a goal every 62.8 minutes, is what I've just heard, which is absolutely bonkers. Surely the best goal-to-minute ratio in European football for a player that's played maybe more than 10 matches this season. It's ludicrous. And he's going to have at least 25 minutes in this match to try and affect the game. But James has just put Llorente was shocking first half. He lost Dawson about 4 times from corners, which is poor. I mean, I was saying earlier about Craig Dawson. Incredible. Who'd have thought Craig Dawson would be one of West Ham's best signings of the season? It's mad, isn't it? Absolutely crazy. Never expected it. As Atalanta going to come forward here, it's going to be Romero. Now into Josip Ilicic. Plays the ball to the right to Mihail. Freuler. Into Ilicic. Bit of a stumble. And good defended in the end by Perisic, who's just come back. Playing really well indeed. But Atalanta just can't seem to break Inter Milan down. And as we said, that extra burst of pace from Muriel might be the difference that they need in this match to get something in the game. But they've got to watch out here because there's also burst of pace from Inter. Ball from Lautaro Martinez to Lukaku, just did not get himself positioned correctly, and I think he would have been offside had the ball properly got to the Belgian. He's been a little bit sloppy tonight, I've got to say. Lukaku, not been his finest performance in an Inter shirt so far. He's had 2 or 3 opportunities in this game where he should have probably put the ball into the back of the net and hasn't. He's got 23 minutes to try and change this game up. Can't put in the chat. Fulham started off shaky and thought, well, that's them gone. But they've improved hugely and playing some great football. Would be a shame if they went down. Yeah, it's one of those where I don't want them to go down. But I'm going to stop for a second because Zapata's in the box and it's a big chance and he's just wide. I thought it was in. Took it with the outside of his foot, and we saw a goal with the outside of the foot yesterday. I think it was Luis Suarez who scored a brilliant goal in the Madrid derby with the outside of his foot. And Duvan Zapata trying something similar. But I do think the outside of the foot shot there just actually bent the ball away from the goal. And that was a real big chance there for Atalanta to get an equaliser in this game. And I don't think there'll be many opportunities left for Zapata. I would assume here that it's going to be Muriel coming on in a moment for his fellow Colombian international. But yeah, going back to your point, I genuinely don't want Fulham to go down. I think they're a bloody enjoyable team to watch. And personally, if they stay up and they continue to be savvy with the signings that they make, it would be great to see Fulham progressively move up as a club. Because they made great signings this season. And for me, right now, you look at teams like Brighton and Newcastle, they've got to be shitting themselves right now. Especially Newcastle. They've got to be worrying because Newcastle's been awful. And if you were to put the two teams together and base them on who you'd prefer to stay up, I think 9 times out of 10, unless you're a Newcastle fan, or you're a fan of a certain player, or Steve Bruce, everyone's going to say Fulham over Newcastle. As we do get 2 changes, Zapata's going to be coming on, off. Muriel's going to be coming on. He's going to have 20 minutes to affect this game now. And then we're also going to see Palomino come on at the back. And coming off, I would assume, will be Romero because he's on a booking. So they probably won't want to risk him getting sent off. He's had a stellar game though if he has come off. It's actually going to be Freuler coming off, I think. Which is a bit of an interesting choice. I mean, we'll see in a second whether it is Freuler who's come off. But ball lobbed into the box towards Muriel. First chance of the game for him. Can Muriel bring the finishing that Atalanta have needed? He's 5-1 to score in this game, which I think is quite interesting. Would have expected a player of his quality to actually be lower down on the list. But he's going to have 20 minutes here to affect the match as there's going to be a free kick. For Atalanta, Eriksson giving away a foul on Remo Freuler, who is on the pitch, so I would assume Romero's come off in the end for Palomino. James said, could do with West Ham keeping Dawson if we've got any chance of beating Twatford next season if they stay down. I personally think West Ham will get Dawson. I would be very, very surprised if he's still at Watford next season. Very surprised. But free kick here for Josip Ilicic to whip into the box. It's whipped in. And eventually, there was a little glancing touch from Jim City. But not enough of a touch to send it anywhere near the goal. And it goes out of play by the Albanian centre-back for a goal kick. But a pretty decent chance there. Lovely ball into the box. Really well weighted pass from Josip Ilicic. But Jim City just not good enough with the header in the end. And 20 minutes left. Still loads of time for Atalanta. But they've got to find something soon. Especially if they want to take the 3 points home. And Inter just struggling to be able to get the hold of the ball up front. It's allowing Atalanta so many opportunities to press forward. I would probably assume there'll be a change up top soon because Lukaku and Lautaro have not been in the game for the last 10 or 15 minutes. Really struggled to get the ball since the goal that Skriniar scored. But it's very controlled possession. They need to convert into something more meaningful here because time is ticking. Ball flick towards the path of Muriel, who gets a little flick on the ball, but in the end it doesn't equate to anything. And Inter just happy to take the momentum out of the game and try and slow it down with just around about 18 minutes left on the clock in this match. Well, as I said, I do think we'll see a change soon. don't think Lukaku's going to be staying on the pitch for much longer, or Lautaro, as Atalanta are going to make another change. Miranchuk coming on, the Russian attacking midfielder, will be on the pitch in a few moments. In fact, he'll be on now. And the player coming off, I think he's going to be Pessina. So a like-for-like replacement here. It will be Pessina who comes off. Had a pretty decent game today, but not the most stellar one in that Atalanta shirt. And now it's a big chance for the Russian, who I think a lot of Russian league fans have been screaming out to see in an Atalanta shirt for a long, long time. And they haven't played him as much as maybe people expected them to. But he's on now. And there's going to be a chance for Miranchuk to change this game up. And he's going to need to do it quick, because 18 minutes is all that's left in this match. You feel like a player like Muriel is going to make a difference in this game. But who knows? Still lots of time for Inter to maybe even go on and get another goal in this match and kill it off. It'd be mad if that happened. As Atalanta look to come forward again. It's going to be Miranchuk with his first touches on the ball. Into Freuler, who's given the ball away. Now this could be a chance for Inter Milan to come forward. Hakimi, he's got pace, the Moroccan, and he's still going. Tries to take it past, I think it was Gosens who came back. But in the end, good defending from Atalanta. Just kept away from Hakimi. He was looking to bomb forward, and nothing comes from it in the end. As James put, I only want Newcastle to go down so I can get a decent away trip next season at St James's Park. I think there'll be a lot of fans who will be hoping Newcastle go down for a nice little trip to Newcastle next season. I don't actually think we've been in the Championship when Newcastle have been down. No, we have. Sorry, I'm wrong. We have when Newcastle were down. I'm pretty sure it was the season when Rafa Benitez was there. Rafa Benitez came to the the New York Stadium, which is bonkers. You feel like living in a parallel universe when that happens. I mean, I'm just going to make sure, just in case, Newcastle v Rotherham. I feel like I remember it. Newcastle 4, Rotherham 0. Yeah, I thought they had. They beat us 4-0, 2017. Murphy, Matt Ritchie, Ayoze Perez. Matt Ritchie scored 2, Ayoze Perez scored 1. And that was at St James's Park in front of 52,000 people. I thought we had. And as I said, that was when Rafa Benitez was there, so... Crazy world, innit? Crazy, crazy world. Might be going down with Steve Bruce. Well, I think if they went down, Steve Bruce would probably get sacked. But, I mean, you look at the team that Newcastle had on that day. My lord. Is that Johan Gouffran as well they had? I mean, we had Paul Warne in charge. Rafa Benitez was there as well. Christian Atsu was in there. Matt Ritchie was in the squad. Ayoze Perez was there. It was Daryl Murphy. That was it. Daryl Murphy was in with Hayden and Gouffran. Mad, isn't it? But a chance here for Muriel. Good save from Handanovic at his near post. Great save. And that's another big opportunity in the match. James saying we took 5,000 in the FA Cup to 17-18, so in a league game I can only imagine we'll take similar numbers. Definitely. Especially if fans are back as well. Which hopefully they will be. A few test events coming up in the near future. As Atalanta look to come forward again. Ball cleared by Perisic. And the pressure's really beginning to build now. Atalanta playing some really good football, but haven't got anything for it yet. And you do feel like they need to get something very soon. Ball lofted in. And it's going to be another corner. I think Jim City getting a header on the ball, but I think slight deflection in the end will put it out for another corner. And another chance here maybe for Atalanta to get that all-important equaliser. I was going to say equalising goal. Equaliser is probably the best way to put it. As Ilicic is going to put the ball into the box. But there'll be a change first. Lautaro Martinez is going to be coming off the pitch. And coming on with 14 minutes left of the match is going to be Alexis Sanchez. There you go, Kyle. Here he comes, Alexis Sanchez. And Gagliardini is going to be coming on for Marcelo Brozovic. So a few changes for Inter Milan. Are we going to maybe see Alexis Sanchez get on the score sheet? I'm going to be interested to see what Alexis Sanchez's odds are to score. But ball lobbed in by Ilicic. Straight to the hands of Handanovic. Who can just hold the ball and waste a little bit more time in this game. And to give you a rough idea of the odds for Alexis Sanchez to score in this game at any given point in the match, he is currently 12-1 to score. Bloody hell. So if I put a fiver on that, that would get me 60 quid. Mad, innit? Absolutely mad, but Atalanta going to come forward here. 12-1. In fact, he's the second most likely player to score on the pitch by Romelu Lukaku, who's 7-1 still. But right now, with the way he's playing, I'd put that at 70-1 because he's played pretty poor today. But Gossen's on the left mid position here. Going to play the ball into Martin de Roon. Now into Freuler. What can Atalanta do here? It has been a bit of a attacking drill right now for the away side, but just not being able to really get anything from the game. As counts for Uguri, it's Alexis Sanchez. It is indeed 13 minutes for him to score. It's 12-1 to score, Kyle. Do you know, Daz asked, do you think Southgate knows he's 23 for the Euros, Josh? I don't know, personally. I don't think he does. Daz, were you the one that asked for one of your friends to be in the UCL tournament, by the way? Or was it Tubbs? It was either you or Tubbs, one of the two. I forgot to note the name down. If it was you, Daz, put the name of your friend in. If it was Tubbs, then I'll try and chase Tubbs up at some point. But going to be throwing in for Atalanta. Still time in this game to get that equaliser. And maybe even go on and win it. It's going to be a bit of a tough ask right now, but they really do need something soon. Ball played towards Moranchuk. Tries to feed it towards the path of Luis Muriel. Doesn't get to him in the end, but they will eventually get it back in the end. Really good work from Raymond Freuler. Keeps the ball in play. Now it's going to be Moranchuk. We've 11 minutes left on the clock. Can they get a goal? With a throw-in. Time running out now. It's starting to feel like they're not going to get the goal, all they're saying that. Lovely ball into the box from Mahale. Good header away from Skriniar. But not out of play for a corner. Perisic does very well to keep the ball away from a corner. As Atalanta get the ball back again. Ball with Ilicic. Now into Mahale. Who's going to play it back into the path of Toloi. He does really, really well indeed. And Sportiello hooves the ball up the pitch. Nervous times now if you're an Inter Milan fan. These are the types of games where you need to go out there and get the victories. Especially when you're fighting for the title. But you've just put in the chat, Daz, his name. Thank you very much, Daz. I will put his name down for you. I forgot in the end because I'm an absolute idiot. But I will put his name down on the list. Mason Baker. Of course he can play. So Mason Baker is on that list. And then I know there's another person who wanted to play as well. So I'm going to get their name down too. So that's another 2 people taking part in the tournament. Which means I'm going to get the list from Will. I think we've got about less than 10 spaces left. Then hopefully we might run that on Friday. Depending on what happens. But now under 10 minutes left. Frustration is beginning to build for Atalanta. And I think it was a foul there, which the ref's just given. Alexis Sanchez going down. I think it was Palomino who went down there. As Atalanta look to make another change. Remo Freuler coming off. And it's going to be Pasalic who comes on, who had a blistering start to life as an Atalanta player. Originally on loan from Chelsea, came to the club and played incredibly well. But they'll also make another change as well. Jim City's coming off. Palomino's on now. Which is a bit strange, because Palomino was getting ready about 15 minutes ago. So he wasn't actually on the pitch, which is a bit of a weird one. He was ready about 15 minutes ago and didn't come on. Which is strange in the end. But he's on now either way. With 9 minutes left on the clock. Time running out. Long ball lofted towards the path of Alexis Sanchez. Who is now still 12-1 to score in this game. And here he's on the ball. Gives the ball away in the end. But Eriksson gets it back. He's going to look to drive forward. Plays the ball to Barella. Brilliant tackle in the end by Palomino. That's his first tackle of the game. But Inter Milan get the ball back. And all they need to do now is, rather than try and desperately push the ball forward, I think they're going to have to kind of waste time. They've still got a few substitutions they can make. So maybe bringing on someone like a Darmian or an Ashley Young could do at this stage of the match. But We'll have to find out, of course, as this game does continue on with a free kick for AC Milan. Barella going down earlier on. And I think there were a few calls for that tackle to be given as a free kick from Gosens Umbrella. But it's just a very good tackle in the end by the German, who stops a really good opportunity for a potential attack. But 8 minutes now. Milan Skriniar just being shown on our screen. Probably being, for me, the best player on the pitch tonight. Got the goal. Could be about to get a clean sheet for his club. Oh, and this could be a red card. This could be a red. I mean, this is an interesting one. Alexis Sanchez found himself on the floor for a second. I don't know if he's making an absolute meal out of this Alexis Sanchez, but it was Romero, who's already on a yellow card in this game. Looks like he's maybe nudged him in the face there. Referee's not giving anything. But that might be something that gets checked. I'd like to see that back on a replay there, because that did look a little bit suspicious. Might just be Alexis Sanchez trying to get him booked and sent off, but bit of an interesting one, that. I thought it looked like that there was actually a touch on Sanchez there, but he might be playing for the cameras as Atalanta look to come forward again here. Das asks, who's doing the game on Wednesday, Josh? Liverpool-Leipzig. It's going to be Will. And so basically, Tuesday for Sevilla, Dortmund and Juventus Porto. Originally, it was supposed to be me and Rowan, but it might be KD and Rowan. Because Adam was supposed to cover the Barca game, and that was a big chance there for Pasalic, who hits it on the volley, but it's just wide of the mark. And that is a massive chance in the match. Really, really big opportunity, but originally it was supposed to be Will and Adam on Wednesday. Adam isn't available anymore on Wednesday, so it could be me and Will doing Wednesday night and Rowan and KD doing Tuesday night. But also, Rowan and KD will be doing 5:55. They'll be covering United Slavia Prague alongside, I think me and Kale are going to watch two of the other games going on in the background. And then I think the Thursday night stream, it'll be me, KL, Will and Adam. So, full house on Thursday night for the 4 games. Lots going on, but a few changes coming up here. Hakimi and Perisic coming off. D'Ambrosio and Darmian coming on as Inter look to see out the rest of this match. As you would expect, 6.5 minutes left of this game. They're not going to want to give up any more opportunities in this match now. Not even going to push numbers forward as well to try and go and get a second. Although saying that, Lukaku got the ball here. Tried to play it into D'Ambrosio, who doesn't get a touch of the ball in the end, but Barella does. And it's soothed away by Palomino. But not far enough, because in to get the ball back here. And it's Eriksson into Lukaku. Might be a good chance here for Alexis. Back heel to Lukaku. Loads of space on the left with Darmian. But good defending in the end. Mihail coming back and playing as a centre-back there for the moment. Doing really well indeed to just cover the lines and stop another good opportunity for Inter Milan to maybe get the second goal in this game and kill it off. But here's Alexis on the ball. On the left wing, just trying to waste a bit of time. With the ball eventually, I think, going out of play for an Atalanta throw-in. So, a bit of pushing and shoving going on the touchline. Gagliardini thought he'd kept the ball in play there and picked the ball, but a few bits of pushing and shoving going on right now. As Antonio Conte just puts his hands up and says, I haven't done anything. He was outside his box for quite a lot of the game. He's been outside the box. I guess, of course, he's one of those types of managers where he's so enigmatic, like Simeone. I'd love to see Inter Milan come up against Atletico in the future, because those two were probably the most passionate managers in European football. And probably the managers that tend to be out of the box the most. I think they've both been in each other's boxes with the way that they react on the touchline. So maybe one day we might get Inter against Atletico. Two very interesting teams on paper with either set up as well. But 4 minutes left here. Can Atalanta get an equaliser? Because that's probably all they're going to be looking for now. It's going to be a little bit of a tough ask here for Atalanta to go on and maybe get 2 to win it. They definitely take a point against the league leaders. Both teams on an incredible run of form recently, but it looks like Atalanta's run is about to end. Kyle put Adam was feeling guilty hogging all the goals he's had so far, so decided to step back and let someone else savour all the goals. I mean, well, he had 5 goals, didn't he, in the Barca PSG game, so I might be the one covering that game. In fact, I'm probably going to nick it. And I know KD said he wanted to watch Juve Porto, so I might allow him to do that one tomorrow, and myself have the Wednesday night game instead, which is very, very good indeed. But 3 minutes left on the clock here. Inter 1, Atalanta 0. Still time left in this game, potentially, for Atalanta to get a goal back in the match, but Alexis Sanchez been adjudged to have fouled. I think it was Palomino there in the end. It'll be a free kick for Atalanta. But Adam will be back on Thursday. Obviously, he's not been on the channel for a few days, but he will be back on Thursday. He's going to be covering, I think, Tottenham Zagreb is the match he's going to have. So, should be interesting indeed. But 2.5 minutes left now. Atalanta coming forward. Can they get the goal? They so desperately savour, or so desperately need more than anything, not savour. Comes down the left-hand side with Robin Gosens. Flick towards Ilicic. Good work between Ilicic and Gosens, who just can't seem to be able to get the ball up the pitch. Ilicic, in fact, finding himself pretty much the furthest player back. They've been brilliant tonight, Inter. Quality defending at times. And if I had to give a man of the match, it would be Skriniar. And probably the worst player on the pitch tonight. Bit of a tough one, that. Probably say Lukaku's had a shocking game. Lautaro didn't play really great either. But there's a chance here for Atalanta. For a corner. Pasalic rolling the ball through. Little touch from an Inter player. He's going to get out of play for a corner here. With 1.5 minutes left. I mean, if they could get a late goal here, this would really make the Serie A title race and the top 4 race really interesting. Ball's lobbed in. And it comes towards the path of an improvised effort from Toloi, who tries to acrobatically kick the ball into the back of the net, but it's out of play and away for a goal kick. Not the greatest opportunity in the world there by Atalanta, who, actually looking there, was potentially a few shouts for a penalty there. Bastoni pulling the shirt. I think it was Pasalic. But viewing that, I mean, you look at that and you think, how has VAR not checked that and maybe given that as a penalty? Because in other situations, which we've seen in the Premier League, Liga and Serie A, vice versa, the shirt pulling and the holding of the neck would be a penalty. But the referee hasn't seen it. VAR's not giving it. And I think Atalanta will be a little bit disappointed there. Not many players were actually calling for it, which surprises me. But I guess not many players have seen it as we go into the 25 seconds of the remaining 90 minutes. Of the normal 90 minutes even. I can't speak tonight. I think there'll be 2 or 3 minutes of additional time here. Big game this in the title race. Still got lots of games to go in Serie A, but time's running out. As we go into the 90th minute, and in terms of additional time, there's going to be 4 minutes of additional time. Can we see a late goal to change the complexion of the league? There's only 1 goal in this match. If you are an Inter fan, you're nervous. If you're an Atalanta fan, you're trying to desperately egg on the side to go out there and get a late goal in this game. Massive moments here. As they get the ball back, Muriel plays it towards Ilicic, but it's a heavy ball in the end. And in fact, it was Toloi as well in the box. Acting as a target man for a second. That's why it looked like Ilicic for a second. Both players very similar. And it was almost the perfect pass from Muriel, but Rafael Toloi just didn't have the pace. The ball was a little bit too heavy. And it goes straight into the hands of Handanovic, who will have about 3 minutes left on the clock here. I mean, if they could get a goal here later on, this would be quite a dramatic ending to the match. But Eriksen's just going to hoof the ball out of play. And Atalanta will get a throw in here. Every man will be back now for the home side, who are looking for yet again another win in the league. If they do come out with a point here, it will put them 6 points ahead of their rivals AC Milan. And that will be massive in terms of the title. Especially when you've got the likes of Juventus on fine form. But Lukaku coming forward here. Good chance. But great defending by Sportiello, who comes out and takes control very well in that position. Brilliant first touch. We've seen a lot of times where goalkeepers have come out of the goal, they've made a sloppy mistake, and they've eventually given a goal away. He could have quite easily done that there, but Sportiello, brilliant. As the ball's lofted into the box. Acrobatics taken on that. Ouch. D'Ambrosio there on the receiving end of what was an acrobatic kick from Pasalic, and that is going to hurt. Boot right in the face there from Pasalic. I mean, he's got every reason to go for the acrobatics, but Jesus Christ, that's going to hurt. In fact, I think it's the ball that hits him there and not the boot, which is quite lucky that the boot didn't hit him, because that could have been so much worse than it was in the end, and he's alright, luckily. But if that was the boot, then Jesus. Been quite a bad injury, that one. But it's going to be a goal kick with 90 seconds left. Is there any more time for drama? Lukaku gets the ball just outside the box. Now into Barella, who flicks the ball to absolutely no one. Good run by Darmian, who tries to get the ball. Sliding tackle by Toloi, does really well. But I think there's going to be a throw-in for Inter Milan, who will just waste the last 60 seconds of this game. And surely get what will be a humongous 3 points on the board in the Scudetto race as Romelu Lukaku goes to the corner flag and tries to waste a bit of time. And Mihail there, fuming. Not happy. Referee giving an Inter Milan throw-in. And all they'll do now is waste time in this game. Sit at the corner flag, ball front to Alexis Sanchez, who will just sit in the corner and waste time. And that will surely be an Inter Milan win. And you can see the bench right now. They know how important this 3 points is for the league. Atalanta will be absolutely gutted because at times they played really well in this game. But the difference was that clinical edge from Inter Milan. As Atalanta will find themselves in a tricky battle here for the top 4. The referee's going to play on here. We're now over the 94 minutes of additional time. There'll be a little bit more time added on, but there won't be because the referee blows his whistle. And that is that. Inter Milan coming out victors in this game against Atalanta in what was a crucial match in the Scudetto race. Inter Milan needed to go out there and get a victory to keep themselves 6 points away from their inner city rivals, AC Milan, who were sat second in the league, and they did just that. It was a very good game, both teams looking very convincing at points, but in the end it was Milan Skriniar, the unlikely hero at the back, who was able to put in a brilliant finish from a first half corner. Took one touch and whacked the ball into the back of the net. A brilliant shot that no goalkeepers would have been able to save. It was right into the bottom left-hand corner. And Inter Milan get the win that they need, and it puts them 6 points away from second place and looking comfortable in first. Don't forget, we've got loads more content coming up on the channel over the next few days. You could be seeing Rowan. He'll be live with either myself or KD. With Dortmund Sevilla and Porto Juventus. Are we going to see any UCL drama? We'll have to find out, because there'll be more drama on Wednesdays. Liverpool take on Leipzig. PSG take on Barca. I think that's going to be an interesting Wednesday night. 2 games that maybe aren't done and dusted yet. Thursday night, you can see Manchester United, AC Milan and Slavia Prague Rangers. That's from 5:55. We'll also be covering the other 2 games going on, which includes Kiev and Villarreal. And then you can join us from 8 p.m. for the 8 p.m. Gold Show. We'll be covering all 4 of the round of 16 fixtures, including Olympiacos taking on Arsenal. And then Friday morning, don't forget, Ronnie will be live with A-League Fridays. Melbourne City taking on the MacArthur Bulls, who just lost a few days ago. That should be a very interesting game indeed. And of course, if you haven't signed up for the UCL FIFA Sim tournament already, then please do. It's going to be a free-to-play tournament. You don't need an Xbox or a PlayStation or even FIFA to play in this tournament, as the AI will be taking control of your team. It's pretty much a FIFA sweepstake. If you want to take part and you haven't put your name down already, then please do put your name in the comments below, and I'll put you down on the list, as the list is filling up as always. Don't forget to check out our social media as well. If you haven't checked our links, you can see our Twitter is at @the_top corner. And our Instagram is _sportscorner_. Do check those out if you haven't already. I always post up on Twitter and Instagram when we go live on YouTube, as well as when we post up new articles on our website, which is thesports-corner.com. The link now works in the description, and Kyle, as he always does, the absolute legend, has put the link in the chat. If you do want to go and check it out, we've got new articles available every day. There's a League 2 piece, which Adam wrote. Really good piece there. There was a fantastic piece by Simon. He wrote about Fulham's recruitment, how it's improved since 2018. And then we also had a Team of the Week prediction for FIFA 21, which I put up earlier this morning. So plenty of different articles up on there, and it's well worth checking out. As I said, link is in the description as always. But that's it for tonight. Some good Serie A action. Not necessarily the large amount of goals that we expected in this game, but it was a very good game overall. Inter Milan come out the victors in a crucial Scudetto game, and they get the points as they look to close in for the title. I will either be back on Tuesday or Wednesday. We've got Champions League action tomorrow, as I said, which will be Sevilla Dortmund and Juventus Porto. But as for now, we hope you guys have a fantastic morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are. Don't forget to leave a like and subscription if you haven't already, and we will see you tomorrow night for Champions League football. See you later.